Hello, today I'm going to share my perspective on Moraine Keshe Advanced Soul Teachings as of March 21st, 2021. The way I look at it is this. What he is sharing is a step down of information that is a little bit more complicated than people think. Step down means explaining things in more layman terms that people can understand, even though that might sound a lot more complicated or sound complicated to a lot of people, but it is a step down of more technically advanced information. If you compare that to Iyasha, Asayana, MCEO Freedom Teachings or Tangiora teachings, then yes, this information is a big step down from that in explaining in easier to understand terms. He has explained all those stuff in the past, but not in as detail as he's doing now. For me, it's not that difficult to understand, but I am the kind of person that like to hear things in very detailed or specific, not generic, or because different people are able to digest a different amount of information. Each person cup might be different sizes. One person cup might be one cup size, or 1 liter, or 1 gallon, or one whatever size container, truckload. And when you pour information in there, it can be easily overflow. If he shared too much information and too detail oriented, for some people, that's gonna cause a lot of overflowing, and they are not gonna be able to digest all that information. For people like me, I need a lot more information. I have a bigger cup to fill. So he needs to explain things in much more detail than just using generic comparisons or metaphor or expressions. But so what I would like to see him explain is more details with more example. But I don't think we will be seeing that coming out of him anytime soon. And I would like to see more hands-on stuff. But what I do when I share his teachings is connect what he's sharing with what people in the spiritual community know and experience. So we connect the dot from the science, the spirituality, and what Keshe is sharing. So we can connect the dots all together to see how they're linked up. But I just want to share people that his material, especially soul teachings, is not that complicated, but it does require a little bit of inner work, meaning we have to let go a lot of things and expand our awareness and consciousness to a certain level to be able to absorb that. For people that are first not even waking up or just barely waking up, the information can be overwhelming. But there's a lot of other information out there that we can supplement to help us understand better, give us a different perspective in life. So we don't have to just go, okay, I'm just a knowledge seeker and I'm going to listen to Mr. Keshe only. There are other people out there that share different things that to help us piece together different things. And people can look up into like Osho, Sadhguru, or Iyasha if they want to. But those people like Sadhguru explain things in much easier terms to understand, can relate things to practical problems in life. Because when I first found Keshe Foundation, I met 2 people at the same time. One was Moraine Keshe and the other was Sadhguru, because I was looking for the reason to the nature of my existence, why I'm here. So they gave me those two people, both sharing the same things, but at a different angle. Mehran and Keshe were sharing things at more hand-on scientific thing, where we can just begin at the, when we can just grab and touch and experience firsthand, where Seattle is help us shift our mental perspective, a different way of looking at things. And I just want people to know that this information is not that hard to digest. It just takes some time. Because our mind and conscious and awareness has to expand into it. Meaning, if what he's sharing is right here and our consciousness level, awareness level is here, we have to expand it up to encompass that part, and eventually be able to digest and to see things and understand things at a deeper level. It takes some time to process. And those processes which he has developed, because to reach to that level of sharing, he spent years. I mean, I've been with Keshe Foundation for at least 4 or 5 years. And it takes about that amount of time, where before we just work on GANs, but there's a lot of people before me that have been there to 5, 6 years. It's been over decades of teaching people to build the foundation so that people can understand what he is sharing right now. So if you just jump in right into soul teachings of March, that might be a bit overwhelming, depending on where you are in your book and your development, personal development. You may have to go rewind a little bit and read the 3 books on to understand the basic, and go to the older workshops and go from there and experiment with GANs. Then if you're just fresh and beginning out, then you have to start reading the 3 books to have the basic understanding, and go to the older workshop before you go to the most recent one. If you're more into advanced spirituality, then yes, you can jump into the March and after, then you can understand it's not that the learning curve or gap will not be that huge. But if you're just someone that's brand new to spirituality, or just wake up and trying to jump into the recent workshops, then yes, it could be overload. It's like, whoosh, because it's new information and new exposure. And to get over that hurdle there's no easy way besides reading his 3 books on the origin of the universe, the structure of life, and the creations of matters. There's a longer title than that, but I just come up off my head. I don't know the exact full title of the first one, The Universal Creations of Matters, or something like that. The Universal Orders of Creation of Matters, something like that. It's a long title, but those 3 books are the basic foundation to help us understand some of what he's saying at the moment. And you can go through the basic plasma, understanding of plasma. I think there's 12 workshops or 12 videos to understand the basic of what is plasma. Then start with, I don't know what workshop would be adequate. I guess you can start as the McGrath workshop. The McGrath workshop, I started out at around 80-ish or 70, some 7 workshop numbers in the 70s or 80s, probably the low 80s. I don't remember exactly. I didn't go to watch the older workshops because there's so many to watch. So it depends on how much time you have and where you want to begin. You can just begin with workshop number 1 and work up to almost 4 workshops for 300 something, almost 400. Depends on how much time you want to put out. You can also attend the private teaching to learn, but I don't think they have the curriculum or schedule to learn yet that give you a solid guideline. It just basically heads on, start learning about GAN technology, work with that, and that will slowly expand your consciousness awareness to a certain degree. After some times, then the information will be easier to digest, and just ask the universe to take you to the next step as appropriate for your learning. because this is experiential learning. It's not something you can rationalize with the with your mental mind. It's something you have to experience firsthand, and something you have to know from your intuition, direct cognition. You have to resonate with the information and just try to visualize it. First thing, you have to grab the GANs and experience hand-on. Then your mind will open up slowly to digest the information, because to just not to know anything and to step into the workshop like they're there now and trying to expect to understand, that's being unrealistic. It's just like when we have to go to kindergarten, grade school, high school, and college, and all that stuff. You can't just jump to college level course and expect to know everything. You have to start down from the bottom. And to understand that advanced soul teachings require those that have been knowledge seekers or into spirituality for some time to be able to digest and to piece together the information. There is once you have some basic knowledge, there really no exact sequence of videos, because he repeat a lot of stuff. So even the newer videos, he repeat a lot of stuff they had shared in the past, but just a different angle at it. He's just like a broken record, keep repeating things over and over and over. And hopefully people will be able to digest some of the information. So that is my take on the new teachings, as for me, it's not new. And he has been sharing those things for the past several years at least. But except this time, he explained a little bit more, but not that more detail. Hopefully later on, he'll explain some things in more detail, but if not, it doesn't matter, because I have a much better idea of the structure of the universe and that people template to the Asayana's teachings from the MCO freedom teachings and the Tantra order teachings. That is much more specific. It's explaining the structure of the universe, our template, how we manifest things, and what is our evolution cycle, and what do we have to go through. So that explains a lot more detail. That would make more sense for some people. If some people like, technical details, then the Asha would be a good choice to learn the fundamental. If people just like to learn, okay, I just want to have a basic overview, then yes, then Keshe information would be easier to digest, or else it's going to be system overload. Again, I wish everybody luck on their journey in learning and understanding. To recap, basically his teaching is very simple. It teaches people, he's just basically repeating what other people have said in the past, like Jesus, Buddha, Osho, Sadhguru, a lot of people. He just given a different perspective, a different way of saying, explaining things to help people understand who they are, what they're here to do, their relationship to the universe. Once you understand that and they're able to get an idea, and things will be much easier. Whether it's from Yan's technology or McGrath or his soul teachings, they're all trying to help people understand who they are, why they're here, and how they are created, and what is their connection to the creator, source, or God, whichever you want to call him, it, or he, she, it, or what. Basically, source. So I wish people luck in the exploration.